so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Monday Night Football. KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Longhorns and head coach Steve Sarkisian have agreed to a 4-year contract extension through 2030. Texas also landed Alabama transfer wide receiver Isaiah Bond, while Texas A&M athletic director Ross Bjork has a new job with the Ohio State Buckeyes doing just that. Now, the Texans trounced the Browns and will play the Ravens this Sunday while the Cowboys are out. What's that mean?
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Dad?
Can't stop me now. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for rolling with me this evening as I take you up till 7 o'clock, and then coming up at 7:30, we've got the pregame for Aggie Hoops as they get set to take on Arkansas tonight. But it is all about the NFL postseason. Who's there, who's not, who advanced, who did not, and what's it mean for their futures. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Of course, thank you for listening, whether it's on 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. If you are streaming via our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star, like, subscribe. You can comment along. Frank Valdez, Fred Records, Fred Villarreal, see y'all in the chat already. Fred Records saying Texans kicking ass, Stroud on fire, and that defense is crazy good. They definitely played like that against the Cleveland Browns. Round 2 against the Baltimore Ravens going to be very, very interesting as we move forward. But we start, unfortunately, with the disappointment that the Dallas Cowboys laid on every single one of their fans on Sunday. And that was coming out flatter than a freaking crepe, which is a very flat pancake, by the way. Nothing. And it started with the defense and the fact that they forced 2 punts in that game. As much blame as you want to put on Dak Prescott and everyone else, Dan Quinn is the actual reason for the Dallas Cowboys' failure. And I don't think it's close. Now, everyone deserves blame when you get your ass kicked the way the Dallas Cowboys did on Sunday. But this was a total letdown. And I tried to lay it out last week. These are the reasons you should fear the Green Bay Packers, right? I said, Aaron Jones, whether he had Aaron Rodgers or not, when he did it, he averaged over 120 yards a game, 2 touchdowns a game against the Dallas Cowboys on basically 20 carries a game. Just, he ate. The Dallas's run defense, not great. Hankins coming off injury. They have basically small safeties playing linebackers, or big safeties playing small linebackers, and teams that want to impose their physicality on you. The Arizonas, the San Franciscos, the Buffaloes, they did that against Dallas. And that's exactly what Green Bay came out and did. And the last thing I said that you need to be at least weary of is the fact that this is a LaFleur coach team which comes from the Shanahan style tree, which is something that is typically given the Cowboys issues. I said it earlier in the season, and I don't mean it disrespectfully. I mean it as just who they are, embrace who you are, and try and win the best way forward with that. The Cowboys are a front-running team. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that they're built in a way, and Mike McCarthy said the strength of this team was their defense. I don't think it is. The strength of this team is jumping out to a lead and letting that defense eat, unleashing the pass rushers when a team has to start coming from behind so that they can't play physically against you. That was team was all year long. That's the identity of the team. The problem is when a team comes out and punches them in the face, they have not responded in the Mike McCarthy era. And that falls on coaching. And I think Dan Quinn's off to a new job. And if he's not, he should find a new job somewhere else. I tried to incorporate it to Jim Harbaugh and his time at Michigan when he lost 5 in a row to Ohio State. And it was like, oh my goodness, we got to get rid of them. Well, Michigan held the course, and Jim Harbaugh eventually beat them 3 straight times, taking you to 3 straight college football playoffs and finally winning a championship this year. Sometimes the process takes time, but during the process, you have to see growth. And this game was not growth, it was regression. What say you, 656 ESPN, 656 3776. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. If you want to vent, if you want to get it off your chest, if you want to help find a path forward for the Dallas Cowboys, feel free, call, comment along. We'll start on the phones with Sean. Sean, welcome to Extra Innings with Pledger. How you doing, my man?
Man, what's going on, Pledge?
I'm always good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Let's see. D stands for big disappointment, man. That's what it stands for. Let me tell you, this man looked like a deer in the headlights. Dak looked like a deer in the headlight look. And when he had that look, I knew the game was over. We get that look every time. But my question is, I hate to bring up being a bear news, but I know his brother, he said he got diagnosed with depression when his brother committed suicide. Do you think there's anything to do with that? Because it seems like he's a mental midget.
No, I mean, and I appreciate the call, Sean, but when I look at Dak, there are people that rise to situations, and there are just people like it's just physically and mentally ingrained in who you are. We always thought there are certain people that could rise and overcome a situation, right? And that's across sports, that's across life. People handle adversity differently. Some people embrace it and relish it. Some people just shrink in the moment. It's just kind of who they are. It's in their DNA as a person. I don't think Dak shrinks from the moment because he did have a chance to lead them back into this game and had an onside kick on their way or two. They did have a shot at the end, but the problem becomes there is more and more tape. We're gonna end up saying the same thing this next Monday, Tuesday, in a lesser, smaller scale because the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, is obviously going to have a much bigger lightning rod effect. But we will end up saying similar things on a smaller scale about Lamar Jackson if they lose to the Houston Texans on Saturday. Because Lamar Jackson not been past the divisional round. As a matter of fact, CJ Stroud, as Lamar Jackson's about to win his second MVP, has as many playoff victories as does Lamar Jackson. And if he wins this weekend, we'll have more playoff victories than does Lamar Jackson, despite all the success Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, have had in his time in Baltimore. Now, it won't be to the same extent that we hear Dak Prescott, but that's a question. It can he get you past that moment? Now, this was cataclysmic. This was a failure on all sides and a complete meltdown by the Dallas Cowboys. No one is safe from the ire of the fans' scorn right now because it was a cataclysmic failure on multiple levels. 656 ESPN, 656-3776. John, you're on Extra Innings with Pleasure. What's going on, my man?
Yeah, I just think the Cowboys, they're a business team first before a football team first, and that's why they'll never win unless they hire and they become a football team first. Let's say like if they hire a guy and he comes to Jerry Jones and says, I want to trade Michael Parsons. He's too loud with a stupid podcast. He hasn't been showing up in the games. Maybe we can get a first-round pick or 2 second-round picks for him or something. Jerry will say no because it's all about money and, selling jerseys and this and that.
Hold on, John.
So, yeah.
Just before you go any further, I get it. The podcast is easy, low-hanging fruit for Micah Parsons. Do you know Fred Warner has a podcast with his wife?
He does?
Yes. Do you know? You obviously know that Travis and Jason Kelce have.
Well, I was talking to my buddy. Kelce was retired, and then Travis is close to retirement.
But
he
won a Super Bowl with it.
Yeah,
and
they got the
ring. Super Bowl with it. I mean, the podcast is an easy scapegoat, but Micah's not the only one in the league with it. There are multiple players around the league, and it's not an issue for them.
Well, I don't know. Somebody needs to clean house, like Michael Irvin said, and that guy too. He hasn't shown up. That guy from San Francisco shows up, and the Kelce brothers always show up.
Yes.
Micah hasn't shown up lately, and neither is Dak, neither is Mike McCarthy, I mean,
I think
they need to get a football
leadership, right? It falls on leadership, and the leadership, the steward of your team is the coaching staff. They set the tone, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would love Vrabel, and I remember hearing the guys in the beginning of the season, Joe and Jason, and he said by some strange reason, if Vrabel was ever let go of Tennessee, that would be a coach to go get. And I really think they should go after him if they can't get Jim Harbaugh. I mean, but knowing Jerry, it'll be some lame duck coach that we always get. So it's disappointment, But congratulations on your Texans and everything. And I love watching that young kid play football. Man, it's going to be entertaining on Saturday.
I'll hang up and listen to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the phone call. I appreciate the discourse. And you're right. There's a lot of things that the Dallas Cowboys do well in terms of making money, stealing headlines. But when it comes to the football stuff, it feels like it's almost secondary at times. And I don't know if any of that changes until the man at the very top of that totem pole changes. And that's not going to be anytime soon under his watch. Although if Stephen Jones ever takes control, I think that Stephen would let football people do football things. This is Extra Innings with Pledge. I see the phone lines lit up. I'm going to get to your calls as soon as we come back from break right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
The professional football playoffs are here.
Out of the gun, back to Dak. Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
14 teams with only one goal in sight. The big game in Las Vegas. Presented by Flight by Yingling. Hear it on your exclusive home. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you know there's dust floating around your home?
Really?
Yeah. Dust starts on hard surfaces like shelves and ceiling fans. And when you walk by, dust starts to move, compromising the quality of the air you and your family breathe.
So what do I do?
Get Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster. Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster is the fast and easy way to trap and lock dust.
Before it gets into the air.
Exactly. So you can just... Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster, proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Attention, this is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote.
Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-978-5309. That's 800-978-5309. What do you have to lose? Call 800-978-5309. Again, 800-978-5309.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I'm super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656-PURE. I'll even let you try a Connecticut water system for free. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent are required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nothing but net. Good shot. Man, I miss playing basketball. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone? What do you mean? All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text BACK to 231-231 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text BACK to 231-231. That's BACK to 231-231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Let's talk it out. 656 ESPN, 210-656-3776. You just got to give me some time. Phone lines were lit up. We're going into the break. Before I could get to everybody on the phone to find out your name, what you wanted to talk about, y'all were all gone. So just bear with me. I'm a man flying solo here, so I'm pushing multiple buttons all at the same time. If you want to be a part of the show, feel free. If you want to vent, if you have the ability to possibly fix this thing, let's talk it out together. 656 ESPN, 210-656-3776. Fred Records says on my YouTube live feed, Pledge, would you fire McCarthy and the coaching staff? You know, last week I was leaning no, but the embarrassment I saw, that is such a huge regression that I don't think you can keep him. I think the Cowboys will, because at some point you have to make the move. You have to bleep or get off the pot, right? And so if you're going to do those things, you move quickly so that you can target a full search. The Cowboys haven't had a full-on coaching search in almost 2 decades. When's the last time they went through a full-on coaching search? Mike McCarthy was already kind of in-house as they let Jason Garrett twist in the wind. They had one Marvin Lewis token interview to appease the Rooney Rule, and then settled in on Mike McCarthy, knew that he was going to be there. Jerry didn't let him leave his house, and hired him. Before that, it was Jason Garrett, who was the interim head coach, who was the offensive coordinator, that was the head coach in waiting for years and years and years. Before that, it was Wade Phillips. Like, there hasn't been a real coaching hire process in a long time. And when I hear Mike McCarthy talking about, or Jerry Jones talking about the disappointment of that loss, it really hits me that he may be thinking about this.
Well, I don't have really, I can't reach back and look at a playoff loss, but this seems like the most painful, because we all had such great expectation and we had hope for this team. Thought that we were aligned in great shape, but it didn't happen for us, and it's as fresh on me right now as it is on anybody else. But I won't get into any of the addressing of any aspects of any part of it. There's any world's smallest violin for me being fluid. I get that. I understand that. I know where the responsibility starts and ends, and I've got that real clear, and I know that. But that's not the point. The point is that I'm disappointed for everybody.
Like, Jerry was in tears, although when he was asked if he'd given any thought to Mike McCarthy's future with the team.
When will you sit down, Mike, and kind of talk about it?
I haven't thought about that.
Well, you need to give it some thought, and apparently they're going to have an interview and discuss moving forward what the plan is. But if it was me, I've seen enough. I saw what I needed to see on the field, because John Machota said Friday on the Blitz, Mike McCarthy was brought in to win in January. He has not done that. I understand the 3 straight 12-win seasons, and you got to be in the dance to make moves in the dance. But think about the overall picture. Dak's a $60 million cap hit. He's probably going to make between $55 and $60 million on his next deal because it's hard to move off. Although coming up, I will explain a potential way that they can move off it. You're going to have to pay Micah $30+ million a year, and you're going to have to pay CD $28 to $30 million a year. You pay those three that much money, and it accounts for that much of your salary cap space. You're not going to be very flexible in doing many things for a very long period of time. Your window is essentially closed unless you find more insanely productive talent like you did Micah Parsons, Deron Bland, what he's been. You're already paying Trayvon over $100 million. So, like, unless you find cheap talent that can perform at star level, it's going to be very hard to keep this thing together. This was one of their best runs at a possible championship between the talent on the roster, along with the path, along with the fact that you had the 2 seed in home field and you hadn't lost since the opener in 2022 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. Everything the stars had aligned for Dallas. And we know those windows close very quick in the NFL and they don't stay open. AU 656 ESPN 6563776. Fred, what's going on, my man? Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure.
What's up, James? How you doing?
I'm always good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Let's all this Cowboy talk. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's give some props to your team, Pledge. Talk that is, Pledge. Say it. Say what you've been saying all year.
You mean the
CJ
Houston Texans
Stroud
being the best team in the NFL? Or in the state of Texas this year? Because that can't be debated at this point. They're the only team still playing.
You know, when it drizzled Sunday night, and I know Minix was in Dallas, but I'm pretty sure a lot of those all that water was his tears from the Cowboys losing. And CJ Stroud, the best quarterback in Texas, and Dallas fans don't want to admit it. Nobody wants to admit it, but you got to give the props where it is, man.
I appreciate it, man. Look, the Texans are exceeding even my expectations at the beginning of the year. I expected more wins. I expected to compete because of their schedule for a division and possibly the postseason. But what they're doing, what CJ Stroud is doing, what Will Anderson is doing, what Tank Dell did before he got hurt, what D'Amico Ryans has made this defense, even though I said it could potentially be a top 10 defense at the beginning of the year when they noticed the Cowboys they had up at number 1 on that little list that they showed at the beginning of the year. For those that don't remember, I said the Texans could be a top 10 defense because of D'Amico Ryans and what he was doing and the pieces they added. But even what they're doing to me is beyond my wildest expectations. And it is fresh new vibes in Houston, the era of good vibes, and the D'Amico effect is real.
The scary part is there's not even Tank Dell's not even healthy. Imagine if Tank Dell was healthy. That's the next top 2 duo receivers in the league.
It's going to be very scary moving forward. So who's your team, Fred?
I'm a big Washington Commanders fan.
Okay, I got to ask you a question then before we get out of here. Tough run for your Commanders, but the evil Dan Snyder is gone. Ding dong, Dan's gone. Y'all interviewed Dan Quinn. After what you saw, would you like Dan Quinn to be your next head coach in Washington?
Dan Quinn wouldn't even be able to coach any high school football team here after what we saw yesterday. His interview was yesterday, and his interview was to not only to my team, but to all the 8 other teams that are going to bring them in.
Panthers, Chargers, and Seahawks, I believe, are also on that list.
Just say that the top contending teams, they're going to go away from that. He'll be lucky to land with Seattle or the Panthers or something like that, especially after the thing. And I know we're talking about Quinn, but he's going to take the fall. I really feel like Dallas isn't going to fire McCarthy, because if you fire McCarthy, you're getting rid of Dak's progress of this year. Who else are you going to really bring in? Because McCarthy brought the best out of Dak. Someone's going to take a fall. Dan Quinn's going to be the fall guy, which he doesn't care because he's about to bounce anyway and get paid somewhere else. I feel like yesterday really hurt Dan Quinn's job for future teams for a top tier in the NFL. I feel like he's going to get a job, but hopefully he doesn't come to Washington. We don't want him.
I appreciate the phone call, Fred. Thanks, and you can call back anytime, my man.
Absolutely, James. Hey, talk that.
I got you, my man. I got you. Thank you. The Houston Texans, the best team in Texas right now. Undeniable with the way they're playing. Vince, welcome into Extra Innings with pleasure, my man. How you doing, Vince?
I'm trying to do all right. Thanks for asking. Lifelong Cowboy fan. Look, what's it going to take for us to get Jim Harbaugh? I mean, we need to go out there and just get him already. Like, I don't even know why. I'm still waiting for the announcement to say that Mike McCarthy's fired.
Hey,
I haven't even got that yet.
I don't think you're going to hear it. Unfortunately, I don't believe you will something like this when there's so many quality candidates available to you. And Vince, as a lifelong Cowboy fan, I want to ask you this then, because Paul Aguilera brings up a great point, and it's a thought that I've had myself. Let's be honest, he says, they say this all the time, but is the Cowboys' job really a job a coach would want in terms of the amount of media scrutiny that is on you, the owner / general manager that everything has to run through in order for you to get your football decisions? And on top of that, your owner, general manager, going on a show twice a week. Look, Jerry Jones put undue pressure on this team the final week of the regular season after they won the division, got the number 2 seed, and everything was good and feeling good about yourself. And he was asked, what do you think about Mike McCarthy? Is his job safe moving forward? And he said, it'll be a game-to-game thing. We'll see. Like, he put undue pressure on the Mike McCarthy and the rest of this team that didn't need that pressure, just by opening his mouth and breathing life into that potential pitfall. What coach would want to deal with that?
And I think that is part of the problem here, is that Jerry just wants all the credit. And like he always wants, like, okay, I did it. You see, Jimmy, I did it. But you know what? And that's what's making it a top tier job, because of Jerry Jones. Yeah, the only way Jerry Jones would ever start caring is if there's going to be a season and he starts looking at the stands and there's nobody in the stands. Then that's when he's really going to realize, man, I screwed this up. But it's all about revenue. It's all about the money. Jerry Jones.
In your heart of hearts, Vince, do you really think that Mike McCarthy is getting fired?
I believe so. After what we witnessed, like you mentioned, you hit on earlier, he's been paid to win in January, and he hasn't done that.
He has not.
It's like I've seen this story before. I get up to excited for the regular season. I'm like, well, you know what? I've seen this already before. I'm not even gonna get excited. And then, what do you know? Come, early January, it's like one and done. And then if it's not Green Bay, it's San Francisco. And it's like, come on already, dude. Like, what is left to evaluate of Mike McCarthy? Go get Jim Harbaugh and let him win us a Super Bowl. It is time. And look, 49er fans, yes, they have been to a Super Bowl. But all the pressure's on us, right?
Yep.
But they haven't won one in what was it, 28 years?
Yeah, it's been longer.
Okay, but at least I know they've been to 2 of them, but they still haven't won.
But they've been to, and they've also been to NFC title games on top of that as well. And that's the that's the difference between the 49ers and the Cowboys, is the Cowboys have 4 playoff wins during that time span and have 8 one and dones. in the
One and done.
postseason,
One and done.
while the San Francisco 49ers have at least experienced success. It is not the ultimate peak success that everybody is looking for, but they have at least gotten close to it.
And then another one. When are we going to get rid of inaccurate?
Inaccurate. Well, I'll discuss coming up as we're up against it. I appreciate the phone
Trey
call,
Lance.
Vince. I appreciate it. Trey Lance is an option, but I will explain, and I appreciate the phone call, Vince. I will explain how the Cowboys could potentially move off Dak Prescott when we come back here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com. If you got a line, hold it. If you want to be a part of the show, 210-656-3776. That is 210-656-ESPN.
Good times once again in San Antonio. I appreciate you. It is so good to be home. I needed San Antonio. I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that I give you guys a fire lead-in.
It's the Jim Rome Show, back in the Military City, weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio, and certainly do not suck.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call BS on that. Come on.
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having bloated, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Be the Life of the Party.
Okay, first turn the music off. Then ask for everyone's attention. Now, tell them that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Boom! Now everyone knows you're not just a pretty face. You have some brains inside that face that know how to save hundreds on home insurance. Woo!
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like saddling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File for free with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Paid actor portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me.
I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Thanks for rolling with me this evening as we get you all caught up. Tony Galan on our YouTube live feed. If you want to be a part of the show, YouTube Live, go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, subscribe, like, follow along. Cowboys didn't surprise, yet everyone is shocked. They ain't news. Let's talk Texans. Wow. I'm glad you bring that up, Tony, because the Texans are part of the game plan I'm talking about when it comes to building up the Cowboys. But before we do, 656-3776, 656 ESPN. Let's get a hold of the phone calls. Drew, welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge, my man.
Hey, Pledge. It's me, Drew, from the Woodlands.
Hey, what's up, Drew?
I moved to San Antonio 30 years ago. I've been out there, but then I moved to Houston. I live in the Houston area. But I've always been a Houston Oilers fan and now a Texans fan. Mm-hmm. And this whole time, the San Antonio fever, it's like a disease. You guys worship this team up 35. Meanwhile, 200 miles to your freaking east, do you guys realize that the Texans are just a brand new team, 15 years? They've won the division 5 times. You know that Bill O'Brien was a better coach than any of these yucks you guys have had since Jimmy Johnson.
Did it with 4 different quarterbacks. 4 times?
Yeah, he's run it 4 times. You know that we've had 2 generational quarterbacks. You know why we've had 2 generational? Watson, we got rid of him real quick. You guys don't want to get rid of Dak. You guys are, oh, no, we'll get rid of Dak because he did something bad. But you know how you get a quarterback? You tank. You trade for draft picks. Why aren't you guys talking about trading Mika to get some draft picks? Why are you talking about interviewing a real guy, not these little pop, flavor of the month, these Belichick's, these what's the guy from Michigan or whoever's the flavor of choice. Get a real guy like Ryan to run your team. Get a real offense. Somebody, I don't know, who runs a 49ers offense. Get some assets and rebuild and just fucking lock your stupid owner away. I don't know how many people love this team. You got 100,000 people go every week. Isn't one of you crazy enough to go out there and I'm not saying advocating violence, but something can happen to Jerry. Something can happen to Jerry. You can put. I'm not saying put it away, but he could be taking care. He's 80 years old. He can fall down the stairs and break a hip, and he'll be out for the rest of the ownership thing. You guys got to stop your whining or stop worshiping this team and look 200 miles to the east and see how it's done. And it's been done since 2015. You guys are so blind. I can't believe it. It's getting worse. I don't know how you guys can get yourself cured. You like being the punchline of a prop comedy from Stephen A. Smith every year. That should be enough for you guys to say, I'm not doing this anymore. I end up being a joke, a corny joke on a stupid ESPN show for Stephen A. Smith every year, and he uses props. You guys are an embarrassment. That's all I got to say. Go Texans.
Well, I appreciate it, Drew. Look, the Texans are a team that is on the rise, and of course, Texans fans are insanely excited about it. I am one of them. CJ Stroud, D'Amico Ryans have just breathed new life into the organization, into the fan base, and that playoff game against the Cleveland Browns showed you, like, it was a slow moving back crowd. Jack Easterby nearly destroyed that. Not nearly. He destroyed that entire fan base in a sense with the moves that he made with Bill O'Brien together to systematically just destabilize that organization. But Nick Caserio has taken hold of the reins. He is slowly building it back up. And the one and done coaches, which were supposed to be one and done coaches, they finally, when it was time to start building up after taking it all the way down to the studs, they figured out that's our guy. That guy was D'Amico Ryans. That guy was a leader of men. And you can tell the effect that the coaching staff has on the team. I mean, Nick Caserio flipped the entire roster over, and it was impressive to see what they did in the short amount of time, and by no small feat. A lot of that is because of D'Amico, the culture he has instilled, but also you find a quarterback that plays at that level that early on, it helps to make things a whole lot easier. 656 ESPN, 656 3776. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure, my man. How are you doing?
Hello?
Yeah. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Hey, Pledge, what do you call it? I was calling the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, he needs to put his pride away. Let, 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 let a coach run the way it's supposed to be ran. And I don't think they're never gonna win if he's always trying to be the guy that did everything. He's got to put his pride aside, and I think Tomlin will be a good pair for Dak and for them to go to a Super Bowl.
I don't disagree.
Again, Jerry Jones has to put his pride to the side, and that's that. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I hate them. That's one team I hate.
Would you give up a first round pick for Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, yes, because I believe in Dak. He's a good quarterback. I'll give him that. You know, I can guarantee you he's on the wrong team right now, all because of the owner. Because the owner runs the show. But you let the coach run the show, you'll have a Super Bowl with that quarterback. You let Dak go to another team, he might just win to a good, decent team. He might just win a Super Bowl with another team. That's the way I see it.
I mean, DeMarcus Ware
Now,
did.
there you go. And there it is. You know what I mean? So a good pair, Tomlin and Dak, but the owner's got to put his pride to the side, kind of deal. You know, that's their little novella they got going on over there, and that's that. Now the Texans, the Texans. Oh man, I have two teams. I for two teams, and that's my Texans and my Eagles. And I boo two teams. The two teams I boo is my Eagles when they're doing bad, and those damn Cowboys. You know, Texans, and they're still in it. A great job for them. They're on the right track. I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. They got to do it now, while nobody has film on CJ Stroud right now, kind of deal. While he's playing professional, they if he's winning, they don't have an answer for him. Or you know, he's doing good. They need to keep doing what they're doing, believe in what they're doing, and you know, I think they need to do it now because the next season they got film on him. They're gonna find little habits that he likes or he does, and they're gonna be able to play a good defense on him.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the phone call. Call back anytime. I hear you. It makes sense. And to your Tomlin point, if I'm the Cowboys, I would 100% trade a first round pick for Mike Tomlin, or for all you Cowboy fans that want to get rid of Dak Prescott, I would have to trade Dak Prescott to somewhere where he want to go, possibly Pittsburgh, an organization that is about winning, to pair with Mike Tomlin in order to get a first-round pick in return for him. But that's my theory on, it'll be a first and a second, first and a third, something like that, I would think, for a quarterback of Dak's stature. But Pittsburgh's not in a place to really draft one as far back as they are. You can still develop Kenny Pickett behind him, but it gives the Steelers a chance at a quarterback to keep them competitive. What say you? 656 ESPN 210-656-3776. We're going to come back. Cowboy James, I see you on the line. Hang on there. When we get back here on Extra Innings with Pledge, we'll get to you and close out the show on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, the ramifications of a huge loss continues. Mark McCarthy's still here. How about Dak getting paid? And what about CD? So many questions in so little time. And, oh, yeah, Spurs are going to get busy again.
Meanwhile, Texas has a team playing in the NFL playoffs. C.J. Stroud and Nico Ryans head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. We are very excited about it. Get the coffee. We start at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our motto is simple. George gets justice. But what does that mean for you? It means you get an award-winning team of attorneys who will fight for everything taken from you so that you can get back to what matters in life. It's just not a motto. It's a commitment to you. Call us at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice.
As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some Frank's Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just going to eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors. It helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Progressive knows we're all trying to save right now.
Hey, at least we're still enjoying baseball on a Saturday night, right? Even if it is T-ball. Yeah, but tickets to the majors are just so expensive now. And who knows, maybe we're seeing a pro in the making. Sure, in like 20 years. How is he safe? Boo! This ump stinks!
The ump is only 14. We don't really do that.
Oh, my bad. You're doing a great job, ump.
Progressive offers you savings without sacrifice. So save big when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-382-4752 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-382-4752. That's 800-382-4752. What do you have to lose? Call 800-382-4752. Again, 800-382-4752.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health San Antonio. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com. I am James Pleasure. Thanks for riding with me this evening as we take you up to 7 o'clock and get you ready for Aggie basketball. A couple of comments on our YouTube live feed. Black Czar says, I think Dallas should take a look at Mike Vrabel. Never seen a defense like that in Tennessee. Unprepared, hard-nosed coach, willing to change a culture and the effort of playing smart. I like Mike Vrabel. I think that would be great if they could get him. E. Huey says, I've been watching the Cowboys since 71. This has been the worst yet. Yeah, even worse than the Quincy Carter years. Says, well, maybe not Quincy, but it hurt. Look, I get it. When people say I'd rather get blown out than lose a close game, you've obviously never been blown out and have the doors. It is demoralizing. What say you? 656 ESPN 210-656-3776. Cowboy James, close me out and take me home, my brother.
All right, players. Hey, man, the reason I called was because of your last two callers, especially the one that said Jerry needs to break a hip. Look, we're going to be Cowboy fans because, like you just read on YouTube, somebody said 71.
Yep.
I've been a fan since 72. Okay? So we're not going to stop being Cowboy fans.
No.
And as far as
and I look down at people that renounce their fandom.
Hey, well, I can't renounce mine, players, because I wear mine every day. But those guys that say Jerry needs to go, hey, I've come to the realization, forget about that. Jerry's not on the field. He's the owner. Now, does he need to hire a coach with authority and let him buy the groceries and cook them and stay out the way? Yes, he does need to do that. But as far as, why y'all Cowboy fans and all this and that, hey, we're going to stay Cowboy fans. We're going to always be Cowboy fans. And remind me, how many Super Bowls has Houston won?
Not a one.
I don't care if it's been 30 years for us, but we do have some rings on the board. And that's why I got plans. You my brother. I'll see you out somewhere real soon.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for calling, Cowboy James. Appreciate it. Look, I have no issues with Cowboy fans. A lot of y'all are great. Some of y'all, especially on social media, are insufferable. But that's all fandom across the board. There are Texans fans that are insufferable. Trust me, I know. I've had to deal with them too. But I love level-headed fans that can see the forest through the trees. And a lot of y'all can. And Mike McCarthy, I think his days, if they aren't, they should be numbered in Dallas. We'll discuss more about this and the Texans because they've got a game to prepare for on Saturday as they take on the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. That's going to do it for Extra Innings with Pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll catch you tomorrow right here. Same pledge time, same pledge channel.
Are you tired of going to the dentist over and over again? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctors Implants.
We have put a lot of money into fixing my teeth over and over and over again, a filling or a crown or this or that.
At Doctors Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Jim Basketball. Good one in Philadelphia with former MVPs both in the lineup, Nuggets and Sixers. Jokic versus Embiid after one. Denver up top 38.